Yeah, hi, I'm Paul, that's paularcher.com. Now over in the States there's a chain of cinemas called the AMC Group, and they've got about 400 screens around the US. And they've just started something recently which is called a texting only aisle. It's at the back of the cinema, and if you're at the back of the cinema on this texting only aisle, you are allowed to use your smartphone. Now, what a terrible thing is this, they keep up with their Facebook and their WhatsApp and their Snapchat or whatever it is. It's obviously to do with demand, isn't it, from the Generation Y specifically. For me, I couldn't imagine anything worse actually than watching a movie in a crowded cinema when there's flashing lights going off and noises and all sorts of things. It's total interruption, but hey, it's the sign of the times. Now, when we're running meetings and workshops as trainers, coaches, sales managers, or as salespeople, we're running a meeting and people want to use their smartphones. We've kind of fended them off up to now. We've fought them out, haven't we? We've asked people to switch them off or at least turn them down or put them away. We're fighting with them, and I don't know really if we're going to win this battle because of the rising change of time. So I got an idea or two to help you to work with smartphones, and I've used these techniques a lot recently and they work really well. So rather than fighting against them, you want to invite them into your meetings. So once they're in, we want to start doing things with them. What you could do is you could run a quiz using the smartphones, couldn't you? I've done this via text, Q&As, quizzes using smartphones. That works really well. You can have them as microphones. There's software you can get where you can have them as microphones. So if you've got a big auditorium, somebody could take to their smartphone and talk to it, and it comes blasting out of the speakers in the auditorium. It works really well. I've seen it before. You could use them for polling, you know, A, B, C or D, and you get software for that. It's free, and people can poll and put the results up on the big screen. That's a useful way of doing it. Get a hashtag going, you should do anyway, for your events, and start encouraging people to tweet what they're learning. That's a really good way of doing it, isn't it? And to have a screen, maybe a separate screen or something, a live streaming of the tweets that are going on, a live feed of the tweets. So if people have thought some particular point was very useful, they could tweet it and everybody would get to see that. And you can actually get these printed off as PDF files afterwards. There's a great summary of the workshop that you've actually been running as well. Get people to Google stuff. You know, if you've got some facts that you want people to Google, ask them, you know, for the next minute, can you Google this or Google that? And people will be happy to do it. They'll do it anyway, so why not work with them as well? Ask them to watch a video on YouTube. Give them the link up on the screen. Make sure it's a shortened version using bit.ly or something, and let them watch a video on the YouTube on their phones. And then you can discuss the outcome of that video, whatever it was, afterwards as well. Offer them email breaks so they can have breaks every sort of half hour to do some quick email, because they're going to anyway, and they glance at it anyway. And I've seen men do it on their legs, don't they? And it looks as though they're looking down underneath the table, so it's a little bit rude, but that's what they do. So what I'm saying is involve them a bit more, and you know, you may not need to worry about them afterwards because they are part and parcel of the modern world. Back to the cinema, I used to think, maybe I'm a bit old then, that the back row of the cinema was for something else. I remember taking my wife on a first date on the back row of the cinema, and we had like a double seat. How cool was that? Times have changed, haven't they? Hope you found that useful. Paul at paularcher.com.